what we could do is, you know that on the Star Trekker, there's a hemisphere setting,
Oh.
north and south.
Oh.
So
No.
we,
That's too mean.
so we can change it from north to south, and he won't even notice it.
Even I wouldn't do that. And I'm evil. No.
You've incriminated yourself.
Do you know how
That's what
long?
you just did.
Remember how long that took us to figure out that that was the wrong setting on mine?
Exactly. I remember the agony, so I want him to try it.
Oh god. It's so awful.
All right, so before we actually move on with the video, I need to talk about our plans for the night between me and my friends. And I have flies all over the place. They're just attacking me left and right. So we need to do a little bit of a crowd control because of the peak of the meteor shower, everybody's going to show up. Everyone's going to be in this parking lot. So we need to control the crowds and try to minimize the amount of stray headlights hitting our shots. So our plan is to use our cars to sort of form a box in this back end area, and we're going to use cars to block off stray headlights from the road that's behind us, and then we're going to use another set of cars to sort of block off the stray headlights that are going into the parking lot right over there. And the plan is that we'll be imaging within, you know, this little box stop area using our cars. And I'll put a diagram, basically a very good chicken scratch that my friend George drew up. Now you may be wondering, why do we have a spot for sacrificing a David? Well, a little backstory is that apparently, unlike normal mammalian bodies, I lack the ability to produce heat. So I think that if you put a heat gun on my body, I show up as blue. And so therefore I carry a box of hand warmers with me wherever I go, especially when I go on a trip. And I have a box of hand warmers that's good enough for a lifetime supply. David thought that was hilarious. Well, David, it's not going to be so hilarious. We have to sacrifice you and make you as a peace offering in case we need to do some crowd control tonight, because like I said, it's going to be extremely packed. We may have issues with our permits. And if we do, we have a solution. Offer up a David. Yes, I realized I brought the world's smallest car to act as a light shield for tonight's activity. This is a tree stump of a car that we will help use to block oncoming car lights from hitting our cameras. Have I thought this through? No. Can you tune out this part of the video? Yes, you may. Is there any point to the rest of this video? I hope so. Eventually. Maybe. Yeah, so I hope you'll stay tuned and watch the rest of the video while I get eaten alive by bugs. Good God. Believe it or not, this is actually sort of my 1-year anniversary with my Skywatcher Star Adventurer Pro. It was my first equatorial mount, and to this day, it's been serving me so well. And I just can't think of a better way for anybody who wants to get into the hobby of astrophotography to get started with one of these lightweight star trackers. Now, you can't really go wrong with either the Skywatcher Star Adventurer Pro, which is what I have, or the Ioptron Sky Guider Pro. But because I have the Skywatcher, I'll talk about it. And you know, the best things about these portable equatorial mount is that they're inexpensive, lightweight, and you can continue to grow with them even when you upgrade. And as is the case for me, this has been my dedicated dark side visit mount. Hey, so the park ranger just came by to remind me of the permit situation. So I just want to sort of do this public service announcement to, to all the astrophotographers out there. If you're going to the dark side, if they require a permit, please get a permit. I have one for my own, but because this weekend is a special weekend with a lot of people going for the precise meteor shower, they're going to be overwhelmed. So if you can, reserve a permit early on. All right, so it's starting to get darker and darker, but still not completely dark yet. And I think this is a good time to talk about some of the positive things that I've noticed about the Skywatcher Star Adventurer Pro. And once again, this will apply to most star trackers out there because they're all sort of built the same. The first thing I want to say is that, well, these star trackers, either the Skywatcher Star Adventurer Pro or the Ioptron Sky Guider Pro, good God, people, you need to work on your names. Why are your names so long? They're really inexpensive. You can get one of these for about 400 or 420 US dollars. If you're willing to go used, you can get them even cheaper. You can get them in the 300 range. And that's a really good way to get into astrophotography, because I can assure you that everything else you buy within astrophotography will be a lot more expensive than this mount, relatively speaking. The second thing I want to mention is that, well, it's really light and it's really portable. There's a reason why that even though I've sort of moved up into a entry-level go-to equatorial mount, I still have this around as my dedicated dark side visit mount, because it's just so light, so easy to take apart, and so easy to travel with. So the next couple of items on my positive list may be a negative on somebody else, but I personally think that because these mounts, they don't have go-to capabilities, they force you to learn the night sky. And hey, there's my friends. They force you to learn the night sky and try to figure out where things are. And just looking for cars not to hit me. And so that's a positive in my book, you know, because this doesn't have a... Hey man. Hey dude.
Hey.
All right, so the next thing I want to mention, and I'm going to try to stay focused because we've got more and more people coming in. So that's cool, because doing astrophotography with a crowd is always a good thing, as long as you guys are social distancing. But the next thing that I want to say is a positive is that the fact that the maximum payload for a star tracker is low, it helps a beginner starting out to limit the kind of refractor they want to look at. You know, you're really limited to, say, 60 millimeters refractor class and below. So you don't have a sea of options to analyze through. That in some way will actually make it easier for a beginner to start. There are a few options out there that falls within that 60 millimeters or below range. And those are all excellent refractors. So I think the fact that this has a low payload capacity, it helps a beginner to limit his or her choices, at least in the beginning. And then the last thing I want to mention that I think is a positive is the fact that this, at least for the Skywatcher Star Adventurer Pro version 1, it's so good with battery life that on a single charge, 1 pack of battery will let me last until 60 to 70 hours. And that's easily an entire week's worth of consecutive overnight shooting, and I think that's amazing. And also, you have the option of running, you know, just standalone batteries, or you can plug it into a USB power bank. I will say that for a USB power bank, as I found out a couple of weeks ago, that you want to make sure that that power bank is also powering something else, because, like I mentioned, this draws so little power that most modern USB power bank will think that there's not enough current, so it'll just turn itself off. So just make sure that when you're running a USB power bank, just plug your camera in so that your camera is drawing enough power to keep the USB power bank on, and it will keep your star tracker on. All right, so I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to image tonight, but for the sake of simplicity and the fact that this parking lot will likely be filled with other people, I am just going to pick something that I'm sort of familiar with up at Cygnus, and I'm thinking it's just going to be Veil Nebula, which I remember was a certified PETA. If you don't know what PETA is, it stands for pain in the ass, because that's what it was for me last year when I was trying to image the Veil Nebula. And the PETA nebula that I'm recalling now is a supernova remnant and it sort of looks like a shell that's slowly expanding. But it's really cool, and I'm thinking that out in a dark side, border 5 skies, I'm not going to use any filter, and we'll see what happens. And it should frame up nicely in my 250 millimeters William Olympic Space Cat 51. I hope.
And this is why you come early, because you don't have to sit up in the dark.
Also, this is why we do astrophotography with a group, so we can give each other crap all the time.
Why? Why? Why do you have to pull a line again in the dark? Welcome to my world. I bump my damn tripod every 2 seconds.
So, what George is doing right now is because he pulled our line already, but because his tripod was way too high, higher than his car, stray lights are coming and hitting his camera. So therefore, he's lowering his tripod again, but that means he has to repull our line. And this is comedy right here.
The joys and pains of astrophotography.
Yeah, because all of us are done polar aligning, so we're just sitting here or standing around watching him suffer.
Yep. Surprised the ranger hasn't been here yet. Oh, he's here.
Oh, he was here.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, I told him our plans of the fortress, and he was cool with it.
Nice.
So last night there was a whole bunch of people here, right?
Yeah.
And then as we were leaving, I locked up the gate because you were supposed to.
Somebody had like locked it for some reason.
Yeah, but I didn't know if like other people here had the combination to get out. So I was kind of worried. I was worried that I locked in the entire complex of parking lot. Can you even see your bubble?
Really see it.
Do you want me to simulate?
Simulate?
Yeah, here. I was trying to like behind your car and see if that's good enough.
Now kids, while Angus walks away, I'm gonna go kick his tripod so that he has to pull her a line.
Alright,
Hold on. I gotta tape this up better.
You're eating more curtains, man.
I gotta tape it up better. Hold on. Alright.
Let me know when you're ready.
1 sec.
Okay.
Wait, David, are you really kicking down people?
Hey, don't kick it. My mouth. Alright, do
There
it.
was some real panic
Alright,
in your
do it.
voice.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Go higher. Higher?
Ooh.
Oh,
Ow.
okay. Alright.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Alright.
I think I'll be fine.
Okay.
Mine's a little high, but I don't care.
All right, so the plan from the beginning sort of worked. We were able to use our cars and our camping chairs to sort of build a fortress. And I think we're going to be good to go for the rest of the night.
You could just shoot something that's not gonna make you so frustrated today.
Yeah, which will be North America.
Have you considered shooting the moon?
No, I refuse to glorify the moon. Absolutely.
You're such a hater.
I am a hater. I found it! I think. Way too bright.
You're dangerously close to kicking your tripod.
Huh?
I thought you had found it. What are you doing now?
Huh?
I thought you found it.
I'm framing it. Are you questioning my method?
Yes.
Okay.
Question everything. Especially if it comes from Angus. I want to see.
Hey guys, so the night is over. Hopefully I caught something from Cygnus. I think I got something from the Veil Nebula. I'll see when I go home and process the image. Hopefully it will be a decent image. Also, the Perseids meteor shower tonight was not as good as the night before. we saw some, but definitely not, you know, not as good as yesterday. But I just want to sum up that, you know, I've had 1 year with the Star Adventurer Pro, and I really enjoy my time with it. And I am going to look forward for another year because, you know, there's just a lot of positives when it comes to these star trackers. And I hope that, you know, if you're just starting your astrophotography journey, really consider getting a star tracker as your first mount. It's going to take you places, it's going to help you grow, and it's going to help foster this amazing love for astrophotography. I'm really tired. It's 1 a.m. I got an hour drive home. So I'm going to end it here. So good night and clear skies.
Oh, Angus.
I'm gonna keep that in the video because that was my friend David, who I did not sacrifice. I should have sacrificed him. So good night, guys.
Clear skies.
Hey everyone. Usually around this time of the video, I would show a picture that I try to capture for this video. But unfortunately, I actually screwed up really badly to the point where I don't think I can present the picture, but I'll still show you guys anyways. It's not a great one, it's horrible, I'm gonna have to redo it, but that's not the point. If you watched this video until this point, I think you saw that I had a great time with my buddies, being out there underneath the night sky, despite not having a decent picture to show for. And to me, I think that's what astrophotography is all about. Being able to spend hours and hours and hours and hours with your buddies underneath the night sky. That to me, I can care less about getting a decent picture. Yeah, as I always said, you know, getting a decent picture is gravy on top, but man, being able to do this with people you care about, that's where it is at. So anyways, I'll try to get a better picture next time for you guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Just please no more Mendocino.
I'm going to Mendocino at first week of
You don't like Mendocino
September.
magic?
No.
Why?
Stupid
him
tall,
on a bad
stupid tall
taste.
grass.
Is this because you?
He just has abandonment.
Is this because you tried to cut corners and it didn't work?
Tried so hard and got so far.
No.
But in the end, it didn't matter.
No.
We'd